So what if that was Cristiano Ronaldo sending a penalty kick over the bar? What if it was Cristiano Ronaldo announcing his retirement from Portugal soccer? The hell is this shit? Copa America final, Argentina upset by Chile. Chile wins its second consecutive Copa America final. Brian Wright is here. I'm Adrian Fedke. This should be an interesting show. It wasn't exactly a great game out there last night. Very kind of a little boring, but a lot of shenanigans, a lot of theatrics, and there's a lot to talk about.
Absolutely. The soccer haters may say that game was boring because it went all the way through regulation and extra time at 0-0, but it is not boring, and we always love shenanigans in football, don't we?
There was a lot of drama. We had that referee set all those yellow cards and all those red cards. I mean, there was more yellow out there than the first time you got to pee after a long night of drinking. Jesus Christ, this ref was real bad. But we got to talk Messi right now because he announced his retirement today.
Yeah, retirement. We talked about this off camera a little bit here, but Messi just turned 29 years old. They haven't won. He's never won a major title for his country. He's widely regarded as the best player in soccer. I think he was feeling the weight of that pressure, of carrying his country to a major title. He hasn't been able to get it done. They lost in the World Cup final in 2014 to a superior Germany team. They lost on Sunday. I think he's just feeling the pressure, and that was a heat of the moment, I'm frustrated type of response. I don't think he's actually done. I think he's just getting a little irritated.
I am 100% with you. When I first heard that, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You're not retiring. Stop. Yeah. You'll be back in Russia 2 years from now. But hey, I'll tell you what, man, so heartbreaking. Just watching him, just miss that, and even some of the pictures post game with him and Aguero, just kind of crying on each other's shoulder. It was tough to watch, man. Argentina hasn't won a major tournament since 1993. That continues, unfortunately. But yeah, this is a snap decision. He's not actually going to retire. It's not going to happen. But it's interesting though, because you got this Messi Ronaldo thing, because that's the first thing I thought of was, well, if that was Ronaldo setting one over the bar, Twitter would have exploded. Absolutely. Nobody likes Ronaldo. It's like LeBron James and Steph Curry in the NBA. Steph Curry's like the Messi. Everyone loves Curry. Even though he kind of choked in the finals, he got some heat for it. But God damn it, if that was LeBron, wouldn't have been a comparison. So everybody hates LeBron. Everybody hates Cristiano Ronaldo. That they're very overdramatic. The way that they act like petulant little child. But Lionel Messi, just Ronaldo, like Steph Curry,
especially Ronaldo, he kind of. His talent is undeniable, and this debate between Messi and Ronaldo being the best player ever is going to go on until they're both well past their prime and their playing days. But yeah, you said Messi, Ronaldo is Curry and LeBron. I agree there. I'd also take it to, we're going to go baseball, a little bit of A-Rod and David Ortiz, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody likes David. Everybody. Despite the fact that they've both tested positive for steroids, we know about A-Rod's steroid history. But what's the main difference between the two of them? People like David Ortiz. They don't like A-Rod because he's kind of an asshole.
Yeah. And people don't like LeBron. He did that whole decision thing. But it's already like God damn, it's over 5 years ago already. But let's get into this game a little bit more because that referee was awful. Oh, making the game about himself than the 80,000 in attendance.
Absolutely.
At MetLife Stadium. Yeah, just wow.
I had to look up the.
Every time he's showing like one of those cards, he's got to be so theatrical with it. Like, look at me.
Some referees are like that. I try not to. I think a lot of the South American referees are a little more dramatic. You see the way they come running over to the player, they give him a little talking to, and then they don't just show him the card, they brandish it. They whip it out as quickly as they possibly can.
There's,
but yeah, he
it reminds me of Joe Crawford back in the day.
Yes, exactly.
Same fucking thing. Joe Crawford.
You remember Joey Crawford? Every time he would call a charge, or no, when he would call the block, yeah, he would like shuffle.
He did a dance. It wasn't even a charge call.
This referee put himself in a difficult spot because he let some stuff go early, and then he's like, okay, I kind of have to try and get a hold of this game. He sends off the Chilean player for the second yellow, which really wasn't a yellow card. It's a crowded field out there, 22 guys, including the goalkeepers, obviously. It's a crowded field out there. Everybody's entitled to their space on the field. But if you can slide your way in front of another player and have a clear path at the ball, you're certainly entitled to do that. And the second yellow certainly wasn't – I don't think that was worthy of a yellow card. He probably shouldn't have been sent off. Now, the Marcos Rojo challenge that got him a straight red for Argentina, also not a straight red. He comes at it from behind. He gets a little bit of the ball. The general rule is even if you get the ball, you can't go through the man to get it. So by the letter of the law, that was a foul, but harsh. A straight red in that situation is incredibly harsh.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason why it was a straight red, I think the referee saw the ankle twist of Vidal and kind of, went down the way he did. It was tough watching it live, but then when you watch the replay, you saw, well, it wasn't really that bad of a challenge. And yeah, the straight red. I mean, once I saw Marcelo Diaz get sent off, I was like, oh, well, we're gonna have 10 v 10 really soon because I was just waiting. I was waiting for him to even it up, and that he did right before the half. So he completely changed the whole complexion of the game.
Absolutely. The Diaz sending off was, that happens, I think, in the 28th or 29th minute of the game. So you can't have a team play with 10 men for more than an hour in a major final of a tournament. So he had to even it up at some point. It's just waiting for his opportunity. And, thankfully for him, Marcos Rojo gave him the chance.
Yeah. What's the difference between, for kind of the casual fans that are watching this, what's the difference between playing with 11 men and 10 men? What did that do to this game?
It certainly gives you for the team that are we talking team that's if you're up a man or if it's 10 v 10 because you've got
10 v 10 versus 11 v 11.
11 for 10 v 10 there's just more space. It's like operating on the power play, but for the entire time that it's not 2 minutes long. Players have more space. You can make more runs. You can be more creative with the ball. If a lot of times if you have an extra guy, if you have a guy sent off, then tactically you have to shift your formation to figure out where guys are going to go. So if you've got defenders that are making runs up the field, you have to compensate by how quick are they can they get back. So if you have players that are running forward on a counterattack and then you give the ball away, then you've got to get back. Then you've got that odd man situation where you can hopefully capitalize and score. Didn't quite happen, but
yeah, we never really saw the game really open up, kind of like it was the first time these two teams played Group D play.
Yeah.
We kind of saw a slow, kind of methodical game. What we saw from Chile was a team that basically just tried to maintain possession of the ball and limit Argentina's chances. They wound up keeping possession of the ball 53% of the time, but when you look at the shots, I believe it was like 18-4 Argentina. So, but the shots on goal was only like 3-2.
Right.
Chile did a masterful job of they were playing for the shootout. That's basically what they were doing.
Yeah.
They're a team that's very adept at penalty kicks. Argentina, this is not a strength for them. It's kind of like the Flyers. They're not good in penalty shootouts. A little bit of similarities there. So that's basically what we saw. And Chile did an outstanding job of defending Messi. Messi had nowhere to go. He always surrounded by like 3 to 4 Chilean shirts. So they played for that shootout. They got it and they won it.
It's amazing. They did a very good job of neutralizing all the talent on the Argentina side of the ball. Like you said, despite the fact that Argentina had 18 shots doesn't mean dick if you can't get them on frame.
Yep.
You know, every time Messi – the problem is, like we talked about having the U.S. not having a plan against Argentina. Argentina doesn't really have a plan at all. I mean, their talent is so good. They may have a loose idea of what they want to do, but a lot of times it's just, okay, let's get the ball to Messi in space and let's see what he can do. It's almost like pass and hope. That's kind of the Argentina for, at least in this tournament. That seemed to be the Argentina formula, and it's worked for most of the time. But against a disciplined team like Chile that knows how to play defense and knows how to hit on the counterattack when they have their chances, it's not going to work.
Now, with that being said, Argentina certainly had its chances at winning this game. You had Gonzalo Higuain, 1-on-1 against the goaltender, missed it a little bit to the left there, almost grazed the post. Aguero had multiple chances, including that one header that was amazing save, but there were some other chances he just skyrocketed over the bar. So Argentina, I mean, you could easily make the argument they should have won 2-0, but didn't happen that way.
I think it's a case of team when you get down late in the game, especially when you're in a tournament final where you know you can't have a draw. I think Argentina was feeling the pressure much more than Chile, because Chile won it last year. They know what they're doing. Argentina, you know, before we were on camera, I was watching the 30 for 30 about the history of Cleveland sports. That's kind of where we are with Argentina. They haven't won anything in a long time. They're all feeling the pressure. And you know when it goes to penalties, that pressure just gets ratcheted up tenfold. Now, mind you, Claudio Bravo in the Chile net made some nice saves. But the pressure, each minute that ticks by, especially when you get to extra time, each minute that ticks by just ramps up the pressure on the favorite team, so to speak.
Now, how much do you think fatigue came into play? Because you had 45 straight minutes of 10v10 soccer. Now, with that being said, it wasn't like a fast up-tempo pace or anything, but in that final 30 minutes there in extra time, there wasn't really much going on.
I think fatigue played a significant role, although there was, and they did mention on the broadcast that FIFA, I believe either FIFA or the South American Federation updated their rules to allow for an extra sub to come into the game in extra time. So that meant that I think Argentina had 3 heading into extra time and Chile had 2. So if you had guys that were completely gassed, the opportunity was there to make some substitutions. So there was some level of fatigue, but the new rules helped to avert that. I just think, like you said, Chile probably was playing for the PK shootout, which is a gamble because a shootout in soccer is way different than a shootout in hockey. You have guys in the NHL that are shootout specialists like TJ Oshie. We saw in the shootout, in Sunday's game, Messi is widely regarded as the best player in world football. Look what he did in the shootout. He didn't just miss; he blasted it way over the crossbar.
Insane, dude! First miss as an international player, I believe, in the major tournament. So
I've been watching and covering soccer for a while. I don't believe I've ever seen him miss one. Period. Either for Argentina or Barcelona.
Yeah, even some of the free kicks he had, he didn't have it the way he had it against the United States.
No, he definitely didn't. That free kick that he scored against the U.S., he hits one of those in the 15th minute on Sunday, that probably holds up as the winner. But
it would have changed the whole complexion of the game because Chile would have to, kind of open the game up a little bit.
That free kick that he scored against the U.S., if he scores that against Chile like 10, 15, 20 minutes in, the Chilean players are looking around like, shit.
If he scores that goal 10, 15 minutes in, Argentina wins like 3-0.
Yeah. That's what happened against the U.S. They scored early and we're like, okay, this is over. Let's just –
because that attack of, trying to keep possession of the ball and playing defense, and all of a sudden you can't do that because you need to score a goal. So obviously you got to open the game up a little bit, which would obviously stretch your defense, and that allows for counterattacks. It allows for Messi to have more space, and all that shit.
And it ramps up more so when you have 10 guys on each side. So if you're gonna commit to playing I think that's also what happened a bit in the extra time, is there were some chances, but with 10 guys, you don't really want to take too many chances, because if you're caught out, you have one less person back there, and you could pay the price.
Yeah. All right. I guess any final thoughts before we get out? Anything else you want to talk about this game? Anything we missed?
I don't believe there's anything we missed. Good tournament. Awesome to have it in the United States. It's the first.
Yeah. They drew 80,000. That's amazing.
Oh yeah. I had to look up the capacity of MetLife Stadium before the game to see, because I wasn't sure. I think Wikipedia told me that the capacity of MetLife Stadium was somewhere around 82,000. I think they had that fully sold out.
It was packed. It was legitimately packed. So that's a good sign. That's a really good sign.
50,000 plus for the U.S.-Panama game at the Link. So you can't tell me that there's not a following for soccer in this country. It just might not be for MLS, but that is another show.
I don't want to hear it from you. Well, soccer's boring. They don't score, and it's stupid. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, I'll say this about the no scoring argument, right? Just because a game ends 0-0 does not mean that it was a boring game. And when somebody does score, it's much more significant than a 7-6 baseball game.
No, I'll say this about that, because it's funny. Because there was a time where I wasn't really that into soccer, but my roommate from college is the one that really got me into it, and he now works for U.S. Soccer. And I remember my uncle back in the day, he would DVR these games, and even if he knew the score, even if he knew it was 0-0, he'd still watch it. Right. And I always thought he was crazy. I'm like, it was 0-0. Why the fuck you want to watch this shit? And he's like, dude.
You know what the answer to that question is? Because it's a beautiful game. And even if there's a 0-0 scoreline, you can still appreciate a nice passing move that ends up in a chance. You can still appreciate a well-worked corner kick that ends up maybe going off the crossbar.
Yeah. There are some good 0-0 games sometimes. It's not like it's not like Portugal Croatia in that Euro game.
I've gone to 0-0 Union games where I've felt that I've gotten my $50 worth, or whatever the price of the ticket was.
I get my $50 worth pre-gaming. That's my worth.
You should go hang out with the Sons of Ben. They'll get your pregame.
We're actually PI's going. We're going to do a Union game in a couple of weeks. We're all going.
Take me with
you. Union game. We're going to be the same again.
Take me with you. That'd be fun.
Yeah. I'm sure you could. Yeah, if you want to show up, shit. Brace has season tickets, so
does he?
He wants to set something up with a tailgate event. We did the same thing with the Phillies earlier this year, so we'll see what we do with the Union. All right, we got to get out of here. We got a flyer show to do in 15 minutes, so make sure you guys, whoever's watching this, make sure you tune in about 15 minutes. We're going to talk a little Ratko Gudas, talk a little Flyers draft, and Eric Lindros in the Hall of Fame. So that'll be 15, 20 minutes from now. Caleb's going to be on here. Brian's going to be on here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. We're going to do some more soccer this week. We're going to talk Euros tomorrow, and we're going to do a Union show. I just hope 10 people watch it. That's it. That's all I want. Just 10 views.
There's a significant following for the Union. It's just not a very vocal minority. I think.
Well, the bitter birds are changing the fucking landscape.
That's right. We are.
All right. For Brian Wright, I'm Adrian Fetke. We're out.
Peace.
Make sure to get back in. Peace.